In this no BS guide, I'm going to show you how to get your next 5 clients in the next 30 days without sales calls, without posting in groups, or without spammy DMs. Sound good? Let's get into it. All right, so if you've been trying to grow your coaching business and you've been trying to figure out everything yourself, you've been consuming tons of free information, maybe even joining courses, memberships, and coaching programs, but you still haven't figured out a sales and marketing system, well, then this video is for you. And the goal of this video is to get you to your next 5 clients that will pay you anywhere from $500 to $3,000 a month by following this simple 3-step framework. But my friends, there is one condition. You have to listen to every single word in this video and take action. And if you skim over any word here, you are likely the type of person that skims over the details. And that is the real reason why you're not where you want to be. I'm sorry. I know that may sound harsh, but if you are, don't worry. I've felt the exact same way and was the reason I was stuck for so long. And so if you're serious about growing your coaching business, let's continue. And for those who don't know me, my name's Andre Gonzalez, and I've been an online entrepreneur and digital marketer since 2007, and I've been running a 6-figure agency since 2012 where we help businesses with Google and Facebook ads. I've also spent tens of thousands of dollars on courses and coaching programs and my own ads, as well as put in well over 10,000 hours into this craft, okay? And I only bring this up to let you know I'm not new to this and I'm not old. I'm just vintage, all right? And so enough about me. This is all about you. And so how can you get your coaching business, right, to become a real business that enrolls clients every month? Let's get into it. Step 1, empathy content. Okay, so content is the gateway to your program, all right? And so that's why it's crucial that you get this right. Why? Because your content is the only way people can tell if your program is good or not, right? And so if your content isn't good, then to a person that hasn't taken your program or talked to you, right? Because mostly you're going to be selling to people who've never met you in real life, right? Their bias will be that your program isn't any good, right? Because your content's not good. This is why me and my clients use a framework I've created called empathy content. Now, this is the foundation for all of our content, and its main purpose is to get our audience to feel heard. Okay. Now notice I didn't say buy from us. All right. I'm super honest about what we're doing here, right? First of all, let me point that out. Okay. And so the reason for this is when your people feel heard, that is the first domino that needs to drop in order for them to buy your program. Why? Because when people feel heard, that is when they know you can help them, right? And so, for example, if you went to the doctor and he didn't do any blood work on you or any test, and the first thing he said to you was, you need chemo, you'd be like, what the F? No, right? You wouldn't accept the cure because you're not sold that you have cancer. All right. And so what does the doctor need to do to make you accept chemo as the only cure? Well, first, you'll have to have some symptoms that you'd go to the doctor with, right? Maybe a headache or a lump that isn't going away, right? And the doctor will then listen to you and examine you, and he'll make sure you take the right blood tests, have a biopsy, and other cancer type of tests to show you have cancer, right? And it is only then that you would accept chemotherapy as a potential cure, right? So in other words, there is a particular sequence to how you market your program, and it all starts by pre-framing your people to accept your solution, right? And so hopefully some light bulbs are going off for you right now, because if you've only been making content about your cure, right, your program, your methodology, your system, then that is probably why people are not sure you can help them. And if you're only been making lifestyle content like an influencer, then people will obviously have no clue what you sell, and they're not going to look at you like an expert. And so how can you apply this? All right. So the first thing I have my students do is a profile audit. Okay. And so anything that has nothing to do with your offer needs to be scrubbed from your profile. Okay. This means no more memes, no more lifestyle pictures, no more political opinions, no more cultural opinions. Basically, no more random shit, all right? And so a complete stranger needs to look at your profile and within 3 seconds know what you do and who you do it for and feel confident that you do it the way you say you're doing it, right? And secondly, I know that sounds kind of weird. Secondly, the more important thing is you need to be creating content at least 3 to 5 times a week, okay? And so here is a content schedule me and my students follow. So on Mondays, you have your offer. On Tuesday, you have your empathy content. On Wednesdays, you have your how-to Trojans. On Thursdays, you drop your value bombs. On Fridays, you do a journal entry, right? And so these are just particular names of content frameworks that I teach, all right? And so let's break down each one of these, shall we? All right, so on Monday, we have your offer post, okay? And this is because on Mondays, everyone is back in business mode on Mondays, and they realize they have the same problems that they had the following week, and they just forgot about over the weekends doing the Netflix and chill thing. And so it's the best time to pitch them, we found, is on a Monday. And so me and my students follow what I call the ultimate offer framework. And this is a framework that clearly lays out the benefits of working with us. On Tuesdays, we drop something called empathy content. Okay. And so while all of our content uses empathy to help people feel heard, in this particular type of post, we follow my specific empathy content framework, okay? And so this is what this post looks like. We call out a specific problem, we deep dive into that problem, and then we finish it off with a call to action. On Wednesdays, we do something called a how-to Trojan, okay? And the way we do our how-to content is much different than a tutorial, okay? While it has elements of a tutorial, right, the real purpose of our how-to content is to pre-frame our people to accept our solution, right? So in this way, it's more like a Trojan horse, hence the name How-to Trojan. On Thursdays, we drop a value bomb, okay? And these are basically those big text posts on Facebook that are formulated like this. If you want desired results within time frame using how you get the desired results, comment me and I'll send it to you. Okay. And I should also clarify, you can do these posts on any platform as well as in video form where you're actually just saying this, right? And I've done this on TikTok and it works really well as well. On Fridays, we finish it off with a journal entry, okay? And this is the kind of post where you share what is going on in your life and how you're feeling, all right? And you want to be as vulnerable as you can be because this will help your people see you as not only an expert, but as a real person, all right? Because a lot of times what happens is when you assume the persona of an expert, it's kind of like you're preaching on the mountaintop and people are getting tired. People will be tired of you just preaching to them all the time. They want to see that you're a real person. So in that regard, we take a little bit from influencer marketing to help our ideal clients relate to us. All right. And so in my program, Expert Coaches, I provide direct feedback and help my students edit their content before they post it to make sure that their content is hitting every point in my pre-selling framework. All right. Step 2. Connecting conversations. Now that you're producing all this great content, it's now time to connect with your people. All right. This is a very important step because you can either sell your program directly in chat or get them to book a call with you. All right. Either way, you're selling something, your program or a call. And so how do you do this? Okay. So the first thing you want to do is comment back to everyone that comments on your content. Okay. Do not just like their comments. Okay. Actually comment something that feels like you'd naturally say to someone if they were to say the same thing in real life. All right. And this is very important because a lot of time people's online persona is completely different than their real life persona. Right. And so we call those keyboard warriors, right? You know, the people that are like shy and passive aggressive in real life, and then online they're keyboard warriors typing away, right? And so if this is you, try not to take your online, not to take on your online persona and be the actual human being you are in real life, because when they work with you, they're going to see the real you. So you might as well just get that out of the way. Next, what you'll do is message everyone that liked or commented and ask them something like, hey, name, I noticed you liked/commented my last post. What was it that hit home for you, right? The purpose of this conversation is twofold: to find out what is resonating with your people so you can use that angle in your marketing, and to find out if they need your help. All right. The purpose of this conversation is to not necessarily sell them right away. All right. Obviously, if they are a fit for your program, then move them to a call or sell them in the chat. But if they're not, continue to build that human relationship. Okay. Remember, guys, the name of the game here is human relationships. All right. I told you guys this was the no BS guide. All right. And so if you've been given a generic DM script by a BS coach and you've found it's not working, the reason is because in human conversations, we don't use scripts. All right. It would be kind of awkward if we needed a script to talk to someone. All right. I know I'm kind of following a script right now while reading this, which is fine for this purpose. All right. And so we do need to follow certain steps, however. Okay. And so when we're talking to someone in the DMs, the steps we need to follow are these three things. Okay. We want to find out where they are, where they want to go, and find out what's stopping them from getting there. Okay. And so because every offer is unique, I help my clients customize a script based on their offer and speaking style. And so if you're an experienced coach, you're probably already great at conversations and even selling because you already know how to get your clients clarity on taking the next step. Your probably main issue is content. So having said that, if your issue is getting people to take the next step, you're going to want to pay attention to step 3, which is conversations. All right. And so, or conversions. Step 3, conversions. Okay. So if your sales calls are awkward and take longer than 20 minutes, they're more like 1 hour, 2 hour free therapy sessions, and you've tried all the sales scripts, you've gotten sales coaching, and nothing is working, it's usually because you haven't communicated the value of your program through your content, so your people are not sure you can solve their problem, right? And so what me and my clients do is we help pre-sell our people by getting them clear on what they need to do, right? And so one of the ways that we do this is through what I call an ugly Canva offer. Okay. And this is simply a visual representation of what we're going to do when we work together to get your desired result. And so for visual learners like myself, and which I think is most people, they can quickly see how each step leads to the desired result. So here's the one that I used. Okay. Let's look at it right here. Here's my ugly Canva offer. All right. So the first thing we do is we fix your offer, right? Which is usually the biggest issue. Next, we spend the most of our time fixing your content, right? And once we fix the messaging, right, the communication within your content, and it's resonating with your audience, that's when you can choose to start running ads, right? A lot of times coaches will start running ads and they'll flop because they haven't fixed their messaging problem, right? Once we've done that, we're going to fix your DMs. Your DM conversations where you can actually just sell in your DMs. You don't even need to go on a sales call, right? And once your DMs conversations are fixed, once your content is fixed, you can take people on a sales call, but it's not necessary. Those calls are more like clarity calls where you're actually just helping the person. And so the final result is you're able to sell in the DM or with a 20-minute clarity call, right? Which is actually more like an enrollment call, to be honest. And it becomes very easy to create content because you understand what your North Star is, because your offer is very clear and resonates with the correct audience. This also allows you to not do icky selling, right? I call this icky free selling, where you're not gaslighting your prospects with these outdated sales scripts, right? Another thing is the competition can't copy you because they have no idea how all your pieces are fitting together so well. And if you're running ads, this also helps lower your cost per acquisition because your messaging is resonating with the right audience at the right time. And so now when you're making your ugly Canva offer, you can make this as ugly or as pretty as you'd like. But what matters most is, can your people understand in less than 5 minutes what the roadmap for their transformation will look like? All right. And so the next thing we'll do is, if you don't already have videos of you coaching, then we need to create at least one video that someone watches before they become a client. Okay. And so this video not only sells the person on your program, but also sells you as their coach. Okay. And so what do I mean by this? A huge component that most coaches and consultants overlook is that just because you have the knowledge to help someone, that still doesn't mean that you're the right fit for that person. All right. So for example, when I was in high school, I was a straight A math student until I took calculus and failed. Okay. And so now obviously calculus is a difficult subject, but what made it even harder was that my teacher had a thick Creole accent, as he was from Haiti. Okay. And so even though he could teach calculus, right, I'm sure he was a genius at calculus, he was not the right teacher for me. Okay. Now, the lesson here isn't if you have an accent, you can't be a coach or a consultant, right? Because everyone has an accent, right? I'm sure you guys are checking out my lovely Canadian accent right now. And so the lesson here is that your speaking style and the words you use and basically how you communicate is what you need to sell first. All right. This is what I call the invisible sale. This is the first sale you need to make before you even think about selling your program. And the best way to do that is through your content and through a video, particularly a video where your people can actually see and hear you. All right. And this video can be anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes long, depending on your program. Okay. So I hope a lot of light bulbs are going off right now, because now are you seeing how all these pieces fit together, right? Because when you have content that makes people feel like you understand their problem, when you have conversations that make people realize you can help them, and when you have the right follow-up sequence with the right content, that is when they buy your program. Make sense? Okay, so now that you know what to do, my question is, what is stopping you now? If you're anything like my clients, it's probably because you have a great program, but you're just not sure how to communicate the value you provide. And as a result, any of these three things could be happening, right? You're not sure what to say in your content to pre-sell your program. You're not following up with leads because you feel like a fraud. You don't make enough sales for you to quit your job or random side hustles, right? And so how can I help you? First, I help you find the issues with your offer so that you can communicate it in a way that makes people want to buy it after seeing your content, right? Second, now that you're clear on how to communicate your offer, I help you create content that is aligned with this new communication style, right? I also help you map out the marketing mechanism that is most aligned with you, right? This could be organic marketing, such as posting content, or it could be through ads, or it could be through both, right? Which is the best of both worlds, to be honest. And so remember, ads are just content with money behind it. And so if you've tried ads in the past, like I've said, and they didn't work, it is 100% because your communication was off. And so what matters with your organic content and your paid content is what you are saying. Okay. And this is the difference between successful businesses and ones that go under, right? Finally, I'm going to help you enroll clients into your offer by showing you how to sell your programs either in the DMs or through clarity calls, right? Which are not sales calls. You're not doing the whole gaslighting thing in less than 20 minutes. Now, let me ask you, have you got a shit ton of aha moments from this? Right? If so, I'd like to give you one more. Let's connect in real life, human to human, okay? Reading a Google Doc or watching a video can only help you so much, okay? I want to help you for free. This is why for the next few days, I'm offering to help you with whatever you need to grow your coaching or consulting business. And I've put a link in the description to book a call with me. All right, so I will see you guys soon. And remember, breakthroughs guaranteed.